Hello everybody, welcome to BK Cockpits, or my cockpit. How you doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend, everybody's fine and happy and dandy, is the word I think you call it. Right, what this video is about is, I'm going to tell you the truth guys, I've been doing this literally since about 6 this morning, and I've done it probably 20 times this video, and I'm not a videographer, so I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, so I'm making a load of cock-ups. I'm really tired now, so I'll try not to be a whinge. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I use with the cockpit, which you can see the cockpit dash there now. It's all lovely and doubly, which is now for sale. A little plug there on mycockpit.co.uk. You can buy that panel and all your Satec products and that stick into it. And also there's a box on the side over here which you can have with other bits and pieces like your radio and screw your throttles to it, whatnot, and that screw to the dash if you so require. You don't need to, it's pretty safe, it's not going to go anywhere. No real turbulence in life, just screw it to the bottom as you would normally. So that's that. But a lot of people I did a video on Pilot to ATC for people to try and help them out, to show them how to use it, and it's quite good. And I've got about 600 views and a lot of thanks, and some people have asked a few questions that I'm going to try to answer. But what I thought I'd do is I'd just show you a budget way, and I call it the budget way because not everybody can afford to be paying out money every month for subscriptions for things, you see. I know it says, oh, it's only £20 a month, or it's only £15 a month, or it's only £25 a month. And then when you actually stop and think, you add all that up, you end up paying about 70 or 80 quid a month out to get things working how you want them to work. And I refuse to do that. I didn't want to get to the stage where I end up spending so much money that I'm not enjoying it anymore, because it's like, it's expensive. So I've found a load of free plugins and stuff that I use, free ones, and there's a couple of payware ones. They are, you know, they're not cheap to buy. However, there's no subscription to them. They're yours and they work. And for a lot of people, I can imagine that sounds like a good idea, not having to pay like for artificial intelligence to do air traffic control for you and sounds real and you can talk to them. The realism must be amazing, but the cost over the space of a year or so is not really cost effective for some people that are on a low income or unable to work, etc. And they haven't got a lot of money to actually do this sort of thing. See, so I'm really aiming at the people that want an absolutely brilliant experience at a budget that they can buy things, add-ons as they go along, just buy a little bit here and there, etc. A bit like the My Cockpit really, which you've got here, because you've got two radio panels there and two radio panels there. You've got two throttle quadrants here. Got the Bravo and the Alpha throttle and yoke. You can use a Satec throttle if you want, or Satec yoke, which can fit straight in here, where this one is. They're two different designs. This one's designed with the oval to put so they slip in, and the other one's a precision machine cut for the Satec throttle. Satec yoke. And obviously the radios are all uniform anyway, and there is a blanking plate which we make, which goes there, so you can have 3 monitors. You don't have to have those two. You can have a blanking plate. I'm sure if you decide to buy one and you want the blanking plate, they'll give you I'll give you a really good discount on the price of that in the deal, depending if you want the blanking plate, you don't want this, then I'll give you the blanking plate instead of that, whatever you want, you know. So that's that sorted out. That's the cockpit anyway. The cockpit dash. It's a bit blurry because it's on a web camera, but it's there. Microsoft's taken like forever to load up again, as you can see, like 18 months this time. And we've got other programs running in the background, and I'm running loads of programs here, guys. Literally loads of them. One of them, let me just see. Let me open a couple for you so you can see what it's about. This is a free program called Airline Announcements. Yeah, I got this from Flight Sim TO, and you kind of pick the one you want.
Καλώς ορίσατε στην πτήση μας.
And you put the name of it, for argument's sake, like Air France.
Madame, Monsieur, bonjour et bienvenue à bord.
And you put the name in there, like that. click on the little coin, the little rocket, the cog at the top, and you put enable automation mode, and you click that, and then this comes up, and it's now waiting for Microsoft to run, and it says it's connected to Microsoft, and it says starting flight. So obviously when you open the doors, then the passengers start getting on, then all the announcements getting made pretty much for you, which is pretty damn good. That's a free one. And also there's another one called Air Tool, which you see here. Yeah, that's Air Tool. I run that as well, and that is a good program to run, because you open it up and it comes up like Air Tool like this. Yeah. And there's Air Tool. So it basically, if the top of it there, it says flight setup and passengers. Yeah. Now I've got this linked to my SimBrief account. Now I recommend anybody going out and registering themselves with this company here. Let's go to restore the last ones, which is that one there. Right, and this one you see on the screen, I'm just going to, why it's on the screen, yeah, I'm going to leave it there because I need to explain something about this bit here. For people who use Pilot to ATC, you need to go to this website, which is called the, at the very top, it does say it's called www.fspassengers.com. Download the demo for Flight Sim X. Once you download the demonstration for Flight Sim X, it says you will need to run FSUIP7, and you can download it for free from here. Okay? So, and you've got an update there, you can update it as well. Now, what happens with that is that it will download FSUIPC7, which is a program that you click, and that actually talks to Pilot to ATC and the other programs. A lot of people I know that have watched my videos and they've gone and downloaded FSUIPC, and it just doesn't work because it's the wrong version for some reason. I don't rightfully know why, but there's a bit of a discrepancy with it, where it doesn't actually work. So I kind of annoying really. Okay. Right, so let's have a look gander. Why is that? Okay, whatever. Right, so I'm just, like I said, I'm not a videographer, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get things organised the best I can with my limited intelligence on this sort of video malarkey. Right, okay, voice attack is down there, which we need. I'm just going to find where my Pilot to ATC is. I've got a funny feeling it's behind something. It probably is, I think. It's probably behind there. No, it's not. Okay, it's calling me a liar. Okay, I'll put that up there for a minute. I'll put that back so it's not in that screen. Right, FS Passengers. It's right. Pilot to ATC is now on another screen, so excuse that, wrong screen for you to look at there. Sorry about that. Right, this is Pilot to ATC, guys. All right, this is my air traffic control, and it's also my
ATC open.
Thank you. Also, and that voice you just heard there is my co-pilot. Yes, you heard correct. I've got a co-pilot, and it's voice activated. Also, the ATC air traffic control is also voice activated. So I can ask questions, okay? Taxi, takeoff, landing, redirecting, altitude changes, request a QNH, altimeter settings for different places. There's loads of things that you can ask it for, and it's voice recognition. So if we go into this one here, and it's got a grammar helper, you'll see it on the screen. It's got a load of things that you can ask for, like all these things here, like tower, you know, call sign, bearing from airport with information, bearings, and to be honest, I haven't used a lot of it yet. Yeah, call to IFR release runway active, so you can ask for information for asking information. You can also, these are requests, and next door you've got readbacks and stuff like that. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo released for departure, runway 01 left at Kilo Oscar Alpha, Alpha Kilo, take off and turn left, heading, and this is all the sort of stuff that comes up. So you've got all these things, and this stuff that you see me circling, all that information will come up, and it does help you to know and really get to know how to ask for things and what to ask for. So which is really helpful when you go on to like VATSIM, and you've done a course. You could do a course on VATSIM, but you can actually do it on here, and you will learn enough information, I think, to be honest, that you'll be able to fly on VATSIM and not feel nervous, because you just remember what you've normally asked pilot to ATC, and it is correct. In fact, it's probably more correct than what some of the other ones might be, like the voice recognition AI, because it's going to be a little bit more forgiving, and you know, if you ask the wrong thing, it'll just pretty much figure out what you mean. Where this, you have to ask the right thing. So in a way, you're kind of learning to do it correctly. Right. So that's just a little interaction, I think the word is, with that, how it works. Now, what we do is we're going to go on to this now, because I've got the flight sim running, but I'm going to try to do this the best I can, because like I say, I've got so many screens open here, you would not believe. It's a bit like an art gallery, but on monitors at the moment, because there's so many things that I want to show you working. And rather than trying to cram them on one screen, I figured maybe I'll do it this way. So, going back, we will go back here, and we'll go to scene 1, which is that one with the flight sim. Scene 4, we'll ignore scene 2 for a minute. We're going to go into this one here, okay? And this is the flight sim passengers, which I just told you about, which you need to go to, okay? At some stage. But we also need to go to this one here, okay? And sign up for a free SimBrief account, okay? You sign up by register for a free SimBrief, and then that is the start of your adventure, yeah? And then you can obviously upgrade and get the, if you want to get to the standard where you end up having airport maps. I'm sure there's one called Sky Monkey or something, and it's got free navigation charts on it as well, so you can take screenshots of them and then put them into your unit, so you don't have to have a subscription. So there's ways around having to pay for subscriptions for things if you can't really afford to do so. So I hope that's a bit of help, but we'll get in depth with that. If people answer my questions and follow my videos, then I don't mind doing it. I will put my effort and my heart and soul into doing it to try and help everybody, to make everybody enjoy what, you know, the flight simulator to the best that they can do on the budget that I've got. That's what it's all about for me. It's just trying to make people share the love, really. So anyway, on the screen we have the SimBrief webpage, which is www.simbrief.com/home, or you can Google it, SimBrief, and you can just connect it up to it like that. It's really quite simple, informative. Then when you're in there, you want to download the SimBrief downloader. Okay, so I'm going to try my best going through all these monitors, and my mouse is so small I don't know how to make it bigger. We're going to go on to the bottom there, I think it is, and we're going to click on the SimBrief downloader so I can show you that briefly. Okay, SimBrief downloader, which is that one, and I'll bring that over into the screen that you're looking at. Then you'll download this program, which is called the SimBrief downloader. Okay, that is a great piece of kit. Hopefully I'm going to try and put it into the right monitor, so I'm guessing you see it on that one there, maybe that one, no, that one, no, okay, it lied to me, sue me. Okay, not working, so I'll put it in there, see if it works then. Into that one, same. I'll put it in the same as a pilot to ATC screen. Oh, there it is. Look, there's a SimBrief downloader. See. Now on that, using the SimBrief downloader, you need to put where your flights are going to. So where the Flight Simulator 2020 folder is, where your flights are, and where you want the other add-on applications to be able to locate the flight plans and stuff like that. So that's where you put them. You put the flight directory, which sounds technical, but it's not. It's just basically where the hell you put the flights and saved them to, and that's where it will export the flight plan to. So if I need to export the flight plan from SimBrief into Pilot to ATC, then I need to know how to do that. Or if I want to export it into the PMS50 or the G1000, or even into the aircraft individual flight plan folders, you just need to know where to put them, and then they will appear in the flight sim folder. Sometimes they go into the actual aircraft where you have to use the FMC to actually retrieve and load in the company routes, like in the PND G757 and stuff like that. You have to put them into their own particular folder, because that's the way it works. Like the PM50 GTN 750 is there. If you see that folder, and that's where it goes, and that's where I store the flights in new flights. Don't actually go into the PGM 750. That just happens to be the name of it, but where it goes to is wherever I tell it to go to. So I put a lot of them, to be honest, in the same place, and that way it makes it a lot easier for people, and a lot easier for myself, because I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, kind of speaking. Right, so that's pretty much how SimBrief Downloader works, and then you push export the file. So I'm going to export the file now. Okay, close, that's fine. Then a little ding. Well, you might not hear a ding depending on the setup. See if you can hear me. I think you can. That's it. So I've now exported it now. Okay, I've exported that file. Now, hopefully, I'm just going to close that one off because I know it's exported. Then I go up to the top here and I go Flight Plan Import. Click that, and there's my SimBrief number. You click that, right, so, and then it will import the flight plan. Okay, so my flight plan has now been ever so nicely imported into Pilot to ATC. Okay, this is where you're going to get your problems when you press that. And you're going to get this message that you see on the screen now that says Sim Connect failed, connection open failed, FSU IPC exception, and all that. And this is the problem that people get, and that's because they have not downloaded, my friends, have not downloaded the FSU IPC 7, which I mentioned at the very start of this video, which is that one there, and I'm going to go put it back up on the screen for you, which I think is that one. You need to go to that web page to locate the FSU IPC 7 that works. It's a free download. Press on the free demo, and then it will ask you to download, say you need to download FSU IPC 7. If you haven't got it, this program doesn't work. That's why their demonstration of this program works. It comes up with Flight Simulator X, okay? Doesn't say Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, it says Microsoft Flight Simulator X, but it actually works without fault or without any problems, where the other one says for Microsoft Flight Simulator getting cabin ready. I find that very unstable. It just doesn't seem to work for me. Might work for some people else, but it definitely does not work for me. So as you can see now, that's not worked. So the Pilot to ATC is not connecting to the flight simulator. They are not handshaking. Now if I go to, let me see what screen you see. I'm just going to make sure I try and do this correctly. Right, I think now you're seeing the right screen. You might see it pop out, you might not see it pop out, but you might see a side of the screen pop out, and then in that side of my sidebar, I've got a thing like this. You see that FSU IPC 7? I click that PC interface and more. I click that, and that's what you need to see when you click FSU IPC, is that what just popped up quickly on the screen, because that is the one that actually works perfect. Then I connect to it. It says simulator disconnected, right? Then I press again, and then it comes up flight simulator connected, recognition engine installed, grammar programmer's loaded. So now, believe it or not, we're now loaded, and the flight simulator is talking, and they're both all talking like they're best of friends now. So it works. That's where your problem is, guys. Who are having this trouble. It's the FSU IPC that's not allowing you to communicate properly, causing you a headache. Now, as I said previous to this earlier about, and you know what I'm talking about, because I'm having to swap monitors on a frequent basis at the moment. Once you've signed up for this account here, right, the sim brief, then you've got your login, then you'll get your password, and then you'll get your ID from this free website. You can sign up for the Navigraph, which I think is really, really good as well. So if you want to get yourself in debt every month and pay money out, then go ahead. But it is worth it. It's very good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just if you're financially in a position where you can afford to spend money, then it's not a lot of money. But if you haven't and you struggle like I do, then it's not so easy to just say I'll sign up for this. But anyway, getting back to the picture that we get there, we've actually got it there. So this is the sim brief, and it's got dispatch on it and stuff like that, and it will load up. You can put your flight into this program once you're logged in. And I could do a video on how to do that, but to be honest with you, look on YouTube at sim brief entering a flight plan and all this, and there's loads of people that have already done that for you. So it's no point in me redoing something that someone already done, and they've probably done it better anyway. So that's the way you do it. Now what you do then is you, as I did mention, I think the SimBrief downloader at the previous part of this video, if you go back a bit you will see it. I mentioned about the SimBrief downloader, yeah? Now the SimBrief downloader is what you want for your flight plan, okay? So we've actually exported it using SimBrief. We've made it in SimBrief, okay, in effect. And we've exported it from SimBrief into this program, which is called Pilot to ATC. And how we did that is just by at the top, below FPL, there's one that says Flight Plan, FP Import. And I've pressed it. So I'll do it again now, and I'm going to import it. Now there's a SimBrief ID. There's my pilot ID down there. I don't care if you use it because you get my flights. And you can do SimWare, whatever you want at the top, but ignore that. Just you'll have your number, and it will marry up, and it will go to SimBrief, and it will download the flight plan, and it's already done it, but it's in there. That's how it works, okay? So now we know we've got the Pilot to ATC set up, which is actually working with the simulator. Now, some people say, yeah, but it's not in my flight sim. Okay, so let's sort that out then. So let's go to the next thing now. I think it's that one there. Okay, maybe there. Right. The next one we need to do is we need to get it into the flight simulator. It's a slightly different process because it doesn't just install like in, as one might say, into the flight sim. Yeah, it doesn't quite do that as easy as. But it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's really quite simple, to be honest. What you do is you go onto this is your loading page, if you like, where you are got your world, and at the bottom you've got a little icon that says more. Do you see that? And you click on the more. Yeah. Well, mine's tending to flicker a bit because I've got I'm using my. Come on. Right. I try doing it, moving my screen into another screen, guys, because I've got touch screens and they're sort of competing against each other. It's a hard work to try and get it all to work at once. But anyway, I'm going to put it in this one here and hopefully change that screen for you to the right screen. No, that one there. No, that one there. Right now, so I've got Flight Simulator here now on top of the Microsoft, the Pilot to ATC. So I'll make that a bit bigger. I cram it into one screen just for the time being, just for on this one occasion. And you click down the bottom. Why that's happening, I do not know. Yeah, I've got a bit of pressure on my joystick, so if I pick it up, it stops. So I'm just gonna click more. Come on. And I can't disconnect this sadly because that's what you hear me from. Come on. What's it say to do that? It says to press those buttons, such as those there. I think. Is it those there? Or is it? From this PC, yeah. Then it comes up where you want to put your files. Now, in my case, I put them just on my desktop. Yeah, so go to the top there. Just go to desktop, PC, desktop. Go down. It says my flights or whatever, wherever you decide to keep your flights or whatever. And we're going to start from EGSS. I think it was. Okay. Now I've got to make things a bit difficult for everybody. I tend to I've made probably a couple of flight folders are different. So EGSS to EGJJ. So we'll use that one because that is the one I think. Okay, so now it's loaded up the flight plan for us. Now, because I've put the flight simulator in the same screen, it should be quite a good idea really, because look, the two flight plans are pretty much the same now. They are the same in fact, like so, see? So that gives you the approach, and this one gives you the approach on the pilot to ATC and the flight simulator. So they're both singing from the same hymn book, so one might call it really. Like so, just put that back to there, a bit of daylight, that'll do it. Right, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to start from a gate or something like that. So we don't really want to go. Do you know what? I'm not going to bother. It's doing me head in. Right, okay. Right, okay. So we're just going to start from the wrong way. It doesn't matter. Because I'm using usually I use my other headset through the VR headset for this. And it's kind of like a bit of a nightmare, really. Right. It's because I'm using so many monitors. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monitors, whatever at the moment. And it's getting confused of what's in what. Right, so let's go back, we've got the flight sim passengers there, and about flight sim passengers, what I did say was the sim brief. So let's try and make this as not confusing as possible really, yeah, by doing this. We've got the flight sim, from sim brief we've downloaded it, yeah. I've also put sim brief flight plans to go into this with my information from my user account of SimBrief, yeah, which is really easy. It does sound technical. Don't get bewildered thinking, oh, this is all too technical, because it really is quite simple once you know how to do it. Now, I've got the flight, so therefore that flight there, that was in there, I can synchronise now the flight from the SimBrief and my pilot to ETC and my actual other units, which we're going to get into in a second. So I should be able to go next, yeah, and just pick an aircraft, I guess. Let's pick a, not 1467, what are we flying? A Learjet or something. Oh, well, we'll just pick something virtually like that, about 319, it'd be about the same sort of speed, that'll do. Airline, we'll choose the airline that we want, and we're going to have, what do you want? I shouldn't get really fussy. EasyJet will do. We'll do that. Look. So we've got that EasyJet, and I'll start the passengers, and that gives me my boarding pass. Now, like marvellously and all wonderfully and all that and all lovely, that means that my planes are ready. My passengers and all that now are ready to board. And as I said before, that other program, this is AirTool that we're looking at on the screen at the moment. This is the same sort of thing. It will, once I board the passengers, then it will start ascertaining where we are in the flight, what we're doing in the flight, what altitude we are, whether we're at our transition altitude or whether we're descending to our flight level down to transition altitudes and stuff. So it will actually say, once you get below 10,000 feet, we're getting closer to our destination, please fasten your seatbelt, blah, 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 which adds a lot of realism to it. which is quite good really. So let's start the plan up. Right, there's the aircraft inside there. I'm going to give you that page now in a minute. Bear with me, please, while I just locate where that is. And before I do, I need to show you the other thing that we've got running as well. And the other thing we've got running, which is now going to appear like magic. So I'm gonna board this an update on that. Is it? Okay, so we're just gonna board the passengers like that. Not at the part of the set. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's my fault. I didn't put the right airport. So anyway, it does work. I didn't actually upload this. I started from scratch instead of reloading the flight plan in here. So we're just gonna get rid of that for a minute. So we know it's there, and that out you can work it like that from the actual aircraft yourself if you like. Okay, so let's just get rid of that for a minute. Now this other program you see here is called Voice Attack. Now you can see at the bottom a little thing going up and down. That means I'm talking to it. This is what controls my co-pilot, which is a program that needs Voice Attack to work. Yeah, because Voice Attack is a voice recognition software. So you want to purchase the Voice Attack, and then you want to purchase one of the HCS voices for aviation, and they're about a 10 or something like that. And I don't think Voice Attack's that much either. And then you obviously got to set these up so they work with each other, which we'll do. If anybody wants me to do these things, I'll do them, and I'll try and do them one program at a time rather than bombarding everybody like I am now with everything. Yeah, so that's my plan at least. Right, so then I can say to this set flaps 1, and if it hears me, it will do things and say things. Retract flaps. Set voice pack Captain Anderson. I'm just going to check it's working in a minute. 7 Spot Anderson. It's not really hearing me. This headset is really bad, and I haven't actually done the voice recognition thing, I've got to admit. So that is my fault. That's my bad. I haven't done it yet. I will do it though. Set voice pack Captain Williams. Now, if you get that problem and things don't work, where you sort of say something and you can't hear it come back, people go, "Oh my God, it's this, that, and the other," and it's a bit of a headache to get this. But it's good to do this like this, purely and simply because it kind of opens the window a bit to how it works. Now it's using virtual desktop and it's using the Xbox controller. That's okay because we are using the Xbox controller at this moment in time, and the other one. So just make sure that you go to your sidebar, start menu. Okay, maybe. Kind of open the settings like that. The settings will open. Put the settings on the top there. Go to system. This is where people get lost a bit. Onto sound. And it says it's using the Xbox controller and the Xbox controller. Most people think, "Oh, it's working. No, it's not me. I got a signal and everything." That's not me. I don't know. It just doesn't work. I've heard all that story before. But the reason it's not working, in fact, let me just see if these headphones work better the other way. Yeah, the reason it's not working as well as what one people want it to work is because down the bottom on this, under the sound feature, you've got applications, sounds, sound devices, and preferences. If you click on that, all of a sudden you get another window opens. Yeah, and that gives you sliders and stuff of what it goes where. So you can, in fact, choose the certain things where you want the certain sounds to come out of. Yeah. Then it's always a good idea to check that that's working. Now, if you see the bottom now, the LED on this screen of the writing at the bottom has gone from a grey colour to a red colour. Yeah. Well, that means basically what it's doing is it's listening to my voice, and it's got a stronger power signal now. So it should be louder, and it shouldn't be quite so hard to do it. If you mute it off like that, you can see it's definitely working. It's a good way mute the headphone like that, and it's fine. Change voice pack, Captain Williams. Change voice pack, Captain Anderson. If it doesn't play back, you probably have to reset this because I've changed it. But it's actually reading every word that I say pretty damn well, really. Set flaps, position 1.
Flaps to 1.
Now she can hear me. You might have to do it. Sometimes you sort of it gets a bit stressful because you think it's not working because it's not answering you on what you're saying, but that's probably because of the voice recognition software that I haven't actually really programmed it properly yet. I mean, I haven't spoken into it and recorded my voice, so it's a bit off. You can't blame the program if you don't record it and it doesn't really 100% understand your voice yet. So anyway, as you can see now, we've got a co-pilot working. So let's we will just move that out of the way for a second now, guys, to another screen. I'll put it back in a minute. So that program there is called Voice Attack. See up the top, it's a separate program, but you need that to run voice recognition with Pilot to ATC software to make it work, and also for the co-pilot and stuff like that. It's a handy thing to have. I actually don't actually need it for Pilot to ATC. Actually, I stand corrected, but you do need it for your co-pilot setup, yeah, which is completely programmable as well, I might add. But look up Voice Attack and Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it will show you can actually assign words to a command. So I can say Mickey Mouse, and it will turn on my interior lights if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Or speed brake, and it will arm my speed brake, and it can be done like that. So it's a really good setup, and you just choose a voice that you want to use, and the HCS voices are really good. So anyway, moving swiftly on, what we've got now, we've got Voice Attack, which is my co-pilot now. That is now working, so I'll throw him out the way. We've changed the settings on the settings here, which kind of helps everybody immensely on how to get things to work properly in the flight simulator, as in recording and stuff for anything that's audio. But again, that's another learning curve which I will help you with. The next thing is in the Pilot to ATC, we've actually filed the plan now, so we need to go to validate at the top, which is at the top here, along the top of the map. Go along, you'll see the only green thing on the screen at the top when my mouse is circling. You need to validate the flight, and then you need to file the flight plan. Okay, now I've filed the flight plan to the flight simulator, so let's just do the one screen thing, which I said I wasn't going to do. Move the part, actually could leave that in there, it's not going to put it over there for the time being, because we've sort of discussed that, haven't we? So we've got the flight simulator window open now. Now there's a couple of other programs that I'm using as well, which might be of some interest to people. Yeah, one is if you look at this here, I've got EFBs. I'm not using them at the moment, but they're like electronic flight bags where you can put your maps and your taxi routes and your diagrams and your approach charts and stuff like that in just those, and they'll come up in virtual reality in your window, in your headset. So let's have a look. We've got that one there. Let's go to GSX. I think I mentioned about GSX before. Can't remember. So I've done so many videos today. And it should open, and it will say we can request boarding of the aircraft. If you don't hear anything again, it could be because GSX settings are not actually set to the output, which is set to the Xbox controller. So yes, it should work, and it probably will do. You just start working and you'll go, that's lovely. GSX not supported on this aircraft because I haven't got this set up. That's okay, that's fine, we're not worried about that anyway. Doors don't open, I don't think, on these anyway.
Throttles maximum.
There's a car crash there, so somebody phoned the BP, just had a stackage at the front. You do see a few things like that, which is quite funny really. It says loading, but you won't see them loading. what I did before and knocked the bloody handset with a cable. How it got wrapped around there I do not know because I haven't moved it, but anyway. So it moved and it just went on the floor, cut my audio out. But anyway, luckily we're still alright. So anyway, yeah, so we've got GSX there and it's loading the aircraft up, but you won't actually see the passengers because it's not configured to do so on this particular aircraft. But anyway, we're not worried about that. We'll come back to that at a later time. What we are interested in is things like this program, say here for instance. I've got to move this again. Oh, come on, for God's sakes. Right, getting fed up now. It's because it's in a different screen and I'm trying to split it and it's confused and trying to find the screen and stuff like that. So you're going to go down and quick catch it. I'll move it into another screen and see if it works in this one. Bear with. All I'm doing is opening one thing, trying to open one thing. Right. I'll put it back. Sorry, bear with me a sec. Anyway, we're not going to use that. We're going to go to that one there. Okay, because it's not seeming to want to work on that. This is the Sim EFB. It's not Sky for Sim. Would you believe this? This never happens. This never, ever, ever, ever happens. Not at all. Ever does it ever happen. But it's happening now because I'm trying to do video. So, but not allowing me to click things. Right. Right, Sim EFB, and it's saying Sim is offline. That's because I need to go to the side menu here, and I need to start this program. Okay. And then it should load because I've loaded the program that runs with it in the background. Okay. I've actually had it running several times, that's why it's confusing the system. And now it seems to be running, I think. Right, let's just move that out of the screen for a minute. Just going to see if it's loading up in the background. So I'm just trying. And I don't know why I can't get that one there to open either, which it should work now. Right, okay, so that one's opened. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that one too much. We'll open that in a minute. Now, Sky for Sim is obviously the map that I use. I can put it my aircraft wherever it is. Now, the thing is, if I open this up now, guys, what you'll see is you'll just see this. Like, well, it's probably a bit too wide, isn't it? Let's go like that. And you won't actually see a flight plan, you see? So you can see your airplane there. But if you look at like Pilot to ATC, I'll bring it over, there's a flight plan that goes from there all the way up from there, sorry, all the way down here, all the way down to there in Pilot to ATC. Yeah? But in the flight simulator it's the same thing, the flight plan is there, but in this is not in Sky for Sim. So the reason being, what you need to do for Sky for Sim is you actually click on the three dark lines at the side, yeah, and you go to flight plan, then you go to the little cassette there, the old 3.5 floppy, and then you pinch or steal the flight that you actually wanted to do, which was EGSS to EGGG, and it's not the 23, it's 24 version, but I'll put that in a different file folder. But rather than confuse you, I'm just going to use that one, okay? Because I've got two different folder setups, one for my flights that I do, and one that I store it there, and I've got it set up to my storage one at the moment because it's quite there's a lot of flights there. So I'll just use that one there, the flight plan. They're pretty much the same, it's just with the time I've used them, that's all. It's not that they've changed them anyway, because I've just uploaded the same flight that I normally use, so they will be exactly the same. Okay, so that's done that now in the flight, so I can go back to there, and if you look now on the map, you will see the flight plan. Yeah, coincides pretty much with the flight plan that's on the desktop on that one there. There's a flight there for pilot to ATC, and the other one is the same sort of thing for Sky for Sim. And this actually goes and does work in VR as well, this guys. But the nice thing about this one is I can actually talk and get all the information that I need to say from pilot to ATC put into the screen here for you, so you can actually see it really, which is quite good really. So I'm going to go into pilot to ATC just quickly, and I'm going to go connect like that, and then you know you're connected correctly and it's working correctly, and it's going to work because you'll get the ATIS and you'll also get the ground frequency, which is 12195, I think. Yeah. So then you actually go to your aircraft for argument's sake, and you turn everything on, which in an ideal world would be nice. Okay, so 1, 2, what did I say it was? It was 121, 95. So tune that into my COM1 radio on my cockpit, which is lovely. Probably about like that really, and I'm just going to move that one there into the right window, which is that one there. Okay, make that smaller, and we're going to just hide this one here for a moment, because we know that now it's marrying up nicely to the cockpit. Right, so anyway, we've now kind of sorted that out, haven't we? Yeah, we've got that sorted. Right. So we've got the aircraft now, we're in the aircraft, and I've tuned the radio to 12194, which is 12195, so I'll just change that correct. And I press the button on the thingy and it'll go away over to the active frequency. Sometimes you'll get a bit of an issue with the SATEC radio panel, the FPC panel. Why it does. Right, again my sound went, my autopilot thing there just stopped working. You need to put that in a 3.5 power output. That's the only way I get it to, I recommend getting it to work properly. Just put it into a 3.5 because it tends to turn the power off on it. You can do a bit of editing in the registry to fix it, but I haven't got around to doing it yet, to be honest. So anyway, moving swiftly on, eh? Moving swiftly on. So we're going to tune the radio now. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo ready to copy IFR. Now make sure we're on the 12195, which we are. Okay, dokie. I don't think it is 12195, isn't that Guernsey, Jersey, whatever. Stansted. No, it is. That's delivery. Anyway, I don't really need to go into depth onto this. It's just basically what I'm talking about. It's important. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo radio check. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo radio check. Oh, that's this thing again. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo radio check. Flybird 31 Victor Bravo radio check. have a look. I think that's done a poo. I didn't file the flight plans, I just filed it quick. Flybird 3-1 Victor Bravo radio check.
3-1 Victor Bravo, you are loud and clear.
So now my pilot, you can hear that I've actually got air traffic control now, okay guys? And it works with the press of a button on here, and I talk into that, okay guys? And that will actually then tell me, hello mate, you're alright, kind of thing. And it's actually married up to the flight plan in this, okay? So in effect, now we have the flight plan on Pilot to ATC, there. And we also have that flight plan on the other program that we're running just now, which I told you, Sky for Sim. Okay, so that's all working lovely, how it needs to work, I guess. We've also got the HCS voices, which is my co-pilot, which is that one there. Yeah, okay, so there's that program, which you can't see because my head's in the way, but we'll move that over. So we've also got this program running as well, which is the aviator thing for the co-pilot. Set flaps, retract flaps.
Flaps for landing. Flaps for landing. Flaps for landing.
Retract flaps. Retract flaps. Which one more? Retract flaps. Now the problem is just listen to my screens at the moment, because it's got you can monitor it from the screens and the sound that comes out the screen. I keep moving them around, so it's getting confused of where's what. But normally I don't have this many screens open, but I've only got this many open to try and help you guys. To easy for me to allocate and find certain screens and stuff. Why that's disappeared, I do not know. Put it back. Don't know what happened there, guys. I just pressed the wrong button. Like I said, I'm not a videographer, so it is what it is, guys. So let's try and get myself a little bit more organised. A second. We're doing that and doing
Display map.
that. Right. Let's have a look at the other screen for you. That was someone there. That side. Okay. So we're going to move that one. Bear with me a sec, sorry about this. Just trying to organise myself a little bit more. Right, so now we've got the flight simulator in a different screen, which is that one there. You get the cockpit at the top. Talk about designing on the fly, eh? Bloody nightmare, isn't it? Right, so we've got the ATC, we've got pilot and to ATC working together. We also got the other one, which is the Sky for Sim working. We also got on another monitor, which I'm going to try to get my mouse into for you, and I'll open it up like this. Now the power is starting to shut down again now.
No takeoff. No takeoff. No takeoff. No takeoff. No takeoff.
Start engine one.
Engine starting. The engine starting. Engine starting.
Start engine two. So you've got all these kind of things here that where you can do, and it get it all voice recognition. I'm kind of working pretty well, to be honest. It does actually work, but it's kind of hard when you're trying to do it with so many monitors open, and it gets quite hard. But I'll show you the other program which we have running, which is, I might put that into another. I need to get ground power unit because my power unit's running out. Yeah, battery's gone flat in the aircraft because I've been chatting so long. But anyway, that's probably a good point to end it anyway, because you know, it's been a bit pickledy, but the general idea is that you get the plane, you've got the air traffic control, you've got the passengers, you've got the boarding passengers, etc. You've got the announcements, and you've got air traffic control that you can actually talk to. It's good that they do all this battery going flat thing, and that's quite good, but it don't help you when you're trying to do a pigging video. And I can't see the inside of the cockpit very well to turn. Request ground power unit. Right, let's get this out of that screen for a minute. Just see if I can find the bloody GPU ground power thing or something. There's got to be a way of doing it. Let's go to the tower and just ask the tower if it can do it for me. This realistic and too realistic. This could be a pain in my arse, mate. I don't actually really want this to be batteries going flat on the aeroplane, do I? Oh well, whatever. Okay. Right, so let's go back again now. Yeah, so only like I was saying, I'm really tired now. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the bloody evening trying to do this. But hey, hopefully it's going to be of some benefit to you guys, and you can use it, or maybe you want me to come and or to do a video on them. It's easier to do them a video on this, guys, at one thing at a time, not like everything that I've got running at once. It's just kind of stupid, really. Kind of a bit of a challenge to do it, but I wanted to show you all the programs that you'll need before you'll actually get anything to work properly. Okay, so let's do a little run through. There's another program. I'm just open on another screen which I use also, which is going to be that program that you can see there. Oh, piss off with your battery. I don't care, it's a simulator. You don't have to go to the extreme of ruining my video because your battery's going flat, you moron. But it is. Okay, so I'm not going to do a review on this, but all I can say to you with this one, with this particular program, you go to the back map and you zoom out, and you can import your flight plans from here as well. Okay, no departure at airport stay. You can go menu, and then you can go and import your flights, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to keep flickering for me because the battery's gone out. But anyway, that's another program that I use, which is really useful as well. Okay, so in a nutshell, the simulator likes to be so realistic that the battery goes flat when you're trying to make a pigging video. So I'm going to have to stop it there because I will just start cursing and swearing and make myself and come out with new expletives you've never heard before in your life. And I will make myself like I'm sounding more of a moron than I do so far. I don't know if I want that. So with that said and done, if you want all these things that I'm talking about, I'm just going to do this because this is really kind of pee me off now. Thank you. Right, just shut that off. Now, so if you want these things that I said, air traffic control, and you want ground people working and loading the aircraft, walking in and out the aircraft, etc. You want the announcements of the co-pilot, and you want to ask the co-pilot to set your flaps, and you want to ask him to put on de-icers or whatever, or set heading bog, or turn on flight director and stuff like that. That just breaks your workload down, and it's a lot more immersive because you think, well, I'm doing my radio, set flaps 2, and it will set your flaps to position 2 and stuff. But it does actually all work, but it's quite difficult to set up. So if somebody's interested, oh, yawning again. If somebody's really interested and actually wants to know how to set one thing up at a time, like pilot to ATC first of all, so you when working with the pilot to ATC, let me know and I'll do it for you. I'll do a video again. There's one I've done already on how the easy way to set it up, which is, it does work, but combined with this place where you go, which is the FS Passengers X, and you go to that website, that helps that other video a lot, because that's where you download the FSU IPC to get everything to work. But rather than going over and repeating myself, drop some likes and shares in the comments on the YouTube video, and if you want me to do it again, I will do a breakdown of how to get these things working. And obviously what I'll do, the more people that ask for a particular program that they want to see how it works and get it working, then I'll dedicate my time to the most remarks I get about what particular program they want to work and how to set it up, because it really is, it's a game changer. And if you're into virtual reality, guys, the good thing is a lot of the programs I use are VR compatible. So like the Pilot to ATC, whereas it's not absolutely like VR compatible out the box or anything, you can do it through like virtual desktop, which I don't do. But you can also have the bit that's important coming into the screen of the Skyfer Sim, which is like an iPad that type thing that appears, and you can move it around your cockpit dashboard, around your cockpit inside VR, and you can actually utilise the information what they say, like taxi to this, taxi to that, and whatever. And it's easy to do your callbacks. But enough said, that was kind of alright. I'm going to sit here for an hour myself now and watch this and see if I get myself into such a pickle, which I think I did, because things wouldn't work. But hey, it weren't easy, everybody doing it. Have a lovely day.